wait a few minutes to see if anybody is available to jump on the call. We will proceed like a normal class, as this is being recorded for YouTube as well as Citywide Philadelphia's future use. Please stay tuned. Welcome, Amy. We'll be getting started in a few minutes. Hey, Aubrey, how's it going?
Hey, Caryn.
Hey, Russell, how's it going?
Good.
Good, good. We just need another minute or two because I need Aubrey to correct. It says the host disabled participant. Okay, good. There we go. She's had to make me the host to ensure that the video takes place. So I'm going to share my screen, and we'll give it probably just another 2 minutes or so, and we will get started. Today's training is going to be a little more, I'm just going to walk through DocuSign a little more quickly, unless you can chime in with questions or if you have a particular issue. My understanding of DocuSign is still very much that of a novice, but I have learned enough in the meantime so that we can have a reasonable class today. Just making sure that, because I know through 10 minutes into last week's presentation, 10 minutes of last week's presentation, there was no recording, so we will go from there. Welcome. I think that's Leanne that's on the phone.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you.
I was just explaining that we're going to format this class so that I'm going to cover I'm just going to cover like some of the basics of DocuSign and walk through it, but feel free to interrupt if you have any specific questions. I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you.
No problem. And I think I'm just going to stop my washing machine really quick. So it's a little bit distracting. And then we'll get started. All right, welcome Citywide, welcome Leanne, welcome Russell, welcome Aubrey to the last in our presentation series about Keller Williams Command. This class will be covering DocuSign and more about advanced command. We'll also be going over some digital marketing principles and just some good ideas and some some questions you can ask, because now that you have attended 4 trainings, you've walked through KW Command a lot on your own, fully equipped to really start using it and start thinking like a marketer in addition to a salesperson, and really make the best use of the marketing tools that are available to you from KW Command to your advantage as a salesperson. So we'll do this kind of the same format, as before. We'll review each slide for an overview of the topic and then take action using the site. This time, I think rather than waiting till answering questions at the end, I want you to chime in anytime that you see something on DocuSign that you're interested in. And also as we get into more of the digital marketing stuff. So a little bit about me. You know this by now, you know me by now. I work for Philly's Key Team here at Citywide Keller Williams. I've been here since August of 2019. While I'm very new to real estate, I have 13 years of experience in marketing, business development, and technology management, all of which are the skills I use for the day-to-day here in real estate. I've taken at least 75 hours of training in KW Command. This is inclusive of DocuSign training now. I'm pursuing marketing certificates. I should be getting my marketing analytics and integrated marketing 360 certificates by the end of next week. And I'm a candidate for the Master of Business Administration class of 2022. But that's enough about me. I guess my biggest thing is that I am the in-house command resource for Citywide Keller Williams. So ideally, as you've kept up with this trainings, you have created and connected your DocuSign account to your KW Command if you haven't yet. You checked your lead pipelines. You've conducted quality control of all of your opportunities. That means that you have been in touch with Janice DiBernardino, as well as Joey Mandel and Michael Slusher down at the KW Philadelphia office. If you have any questions, let us know, and then we will go over the digital marketing stuff in the context of how you can use KW Command successfully. So focus of today's class, we're going to go into DocuSign. We're going to look at how to use and manage documents as signatures. I'm going to show you where you can find all of the templates for the Market Center, and also how to use DocuSign the same way that you would use .loop. We're also going to get into Digital Marketing 201. I did this more as a full segment, and to show you basically more of the abstract theoretical picture. Once you learn all of the stuff that's available to you in KW Command, then you can really start applying principles like the 4 Ps, segmenting, targeting, and positioning, customer funnel and customer journey, using paid media and owned media channels, and then looking at the KW Command software that's available to you as the KW Command marketing mix. We'll look a little bit at traditional and new digital marketing channels, or foundational and newer. And we'll talk a little bit about what you would like to see from KW Command. If you are still struggling to use it in any way, we can answer any questions about that as well. So now we're into this is the biggest thing. I've been thinking about this for 6 or 7 weeks now, how to do the Welcome to DocuSign training. Before you initiate any of the paperwork, you want to make sure that you have all of the stuff that's in KW Commands set up so that you can have a seamless transition between using the KW command to navigate your transaction and using DocuSign to get affirmative signatures in each of your transactions. We'll do all of this just right in DocuSign. I'll also pull up KW Commands so we can talk a little bit about the integration there. And then we'll go over some digital marketing principles after that. But for now, I'm going to pop out of the presentation and pop back into KW Commands, so as well as DocuSign. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm logged in, and I'm going to go to my opportunities just to show you where, how to get paid out and what command does as far as document tracking and training, or document tracking. So something that's kind of a new feature is that you can also add recommended documents, and you can track all of these so that they're working in accordance with compliance. So if you're looking at your old stuff from .loop, you can see all of it here, and links to all of the documents that's built right into the command portal for you. Here we go. This is what I want to show you on the command side. So this is for the listing side. You can have command tracks what documents you need to have. So you can add a file manually. And you should also be able to add items and comments, attaching multiple files. And then also ensure that you start the market center. So you can use either to start a transaction if you have either. And you want to make sure that the transaction is synced. And this takes you to the DocuSign portal. So once I'm in the, so once I've gone into command to initiate a transaction in DocuSign, I go to the DocuSign room, and here I can see all of the details. This has details that are automatically populated from DocuSign, including expected closing, which side of the transaction we're on, and other information that's imported. This imports from your command database, so you can keep track of your seller information. And you can also add in all of this information as well. But once you open this room up, you can take different actions to add to your profile here. So you have a few different options for using the DocuSign. You can upload right from your computer. You can use the DocuSign forms, and you can use zip forms. So if you're already using zip forms, there is integration right here with DocuSign. You can also keep track of things in Google Drive, Dropbox, and Box. So then you can check out, you can add different folders. You can close a room if you close it out. You can leave the room, go back to the main portal. You can also export the information. We're going to see what sort of forms are provided. You just have to provide your which association you're with to get access to the forms from realtor.com. You can also see everybody that's a party to your room transaction. And if you need to, for your clients, all you need to do to invite them to the room is add their email address, first and last name, and what side of the transaction they're on. Then you hit invite, and that will take you, you can also assign a role too, which you can't see the drop down, but it basically shows if, what side and how someone is a party to the transaction. You can also see envelopes. Now, envelopes are the way that you send and initiate transaction documents so that you can electronically sign documents part of the transaction. So if you want to create a new envelope, you go to create a new envelope. You can go to documents and recipients and then share an email message. Now, you can go in, we'll cover templates a little bit more in depth in a bit, but you can see where your templates are, what's shared with you. But what I think was going to be the most interesting to you is this all templates feature. And these are from the Market Center. These are pre-created templates that are available to you for the, depending on where your license is, buyer package, rental, and seller package, as well as seller property disclosure. So I can add these selected to my room. And personally, I haven't really used .loop before, but the technologies aren't too different. It's just, it's an electronic signature platform. DocuSign is actually performing extraordinarily well in the stock market as well. They just acquired, I want to say it's like Oak something for $38 million. And once you have the templates populated, you have all of these documents already inputted. So you can take a look here. And you can print all of the information, but you might be asking, okay, well, this is great, but how do I take this and make it into an interactive document where my seller can sign the different portions of it? So I'll go through that. I think from here you can see it in the view only mode, but I'm going to hit save and close to keep that as a draft. And you can add recipients to the envelope just to make sure that each of the roles Now, what I'm trying to find here is where you can insert the different signature platforms. But one thing that is nice is that you can, once you create the room, you can add the recipients to the room, and you can also assign them what they need to do to, whether they need to sign or view or just receive a copy. You can assign that right from the DocuSign template. You can also add a password and a private message if you need. So I'm going to specify earnest, and then hit save and close. And when I click on here, here's where I can make, once I have a defined role, here's where I can start making edits to the property, or start making edits. So you can have it add text. You can assign these as required fields. You can also specify, but the big thing is that you can also drop in different information. So you can specify in where in each template your consumer needs to sign, and that's just a drag and drop. You can also add different fields. So if you want to, and all of these are text fields right now, but if you wanted to create, you can add radio buttons, drop downs, formulas, and preset information so that anywhere in the document, for example, if you put name, you can put your name here, or a field here, so that it appears on each page of the document. You can also create custom fields. And this is new to me, but they also facilitate you to have online services using a notary. And this can save so that you have fields that are specific to your transaction documents. So I'm going to add some, I'm just going to make this really quick and add some, here's where you can add checkboxes. Now, I'm not sure if there are any, if in the preset templates from the Market Center, if these are already pre-populated. I do think that once you edit the master templates, which I will show you how to do in a bit, you should be able to save those and then reuse those templates for your use. So I'm just going to see this as a recipient. And there I see here I need to fill out this text field, another text field. And then here I need to put my initials. And it's really just as easy as that. You can also check out how your document will appear on tablets and mobile. As you can expect, that a lot of people use these technologies to complete transaction documents. You can also view as anybody that's prior to transaction, but you can view as your transaction individual. So you can view as your seller, or view as your counterparty for the buyers, or whatever else. But once I'm done, you just hit send. And go send later. And then you can track Have I been muted this whole time?
No.
Oh, good. All right. Let me pick back up then. Where was the last time that you had sound?
You were only muted right before I text you.
Oh, okay, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, great. So we'll get back on with that. It's funny, it's just been a little crazy every week. Something a little bit different about Zoom has come up. But as you see from the walkthrough, it's pretty simple to track things in DocuSign. And then just to to go back through the portal to sign the document, you just go to continue, populate, and then hit finish. You can download and print for your records, etc. You can also assign this to someone else. And you can ensure that you have the correct envelope ID, recipient ID if you encounter any issues. Now I'm going to pop out of DocuSign this portal here because I think that we've walked through the document pretty good. And then once you have documents in queue, you can see what has actually, as you can see, it already tells you what you need to do, shows you how to sign. You can move, correct this, you can save it as a template. I'm just going to delete this really quick. And then just to review where the templates are, we're going to see these are default templates that are provided. You can also check shared with you. And probably, like I said, the most useful thing that you'll find is under all templates. And this is provided from these are packages that are provided from the Market Center. Again, I think that you might need to go through and just review the document and drag and drop in different fields. But once you do that, you can save this as a template. And what's cool is that you can also, what's nice is that I think we've covered the bulk of the, what's specific to DocuSign that's, it's sort of unique. This reports feature is pretty cool because you can track how many envelopes are completed, what's your rate of return here, how many envelopes you create, how quickly these are done. You can see that how quickly this is. Most of these have taken place in less than an hour. And you've saved, you can also see exactly how many metrics, how many parks you've helped create, how many Olympic pools you can fill with water that you save. So this ties really nicely into sustainability initiatives and just tracking for your benefit. And you can also you can store your signature and also drag and drop it right into your custom fields. As you can see, you can provide two types of signatures through your profile. If you're a notary public, you can do that. This provides two-step verification, requesting logins. You can make sure that you have custom fields so that you can populate, and how your notification works. So that sort of concludes the DocuSign portion of this presentation. I guess if you have any follow-up questions, let me know and we can walk through one of these together. But that's on you guys. Otherwise, we will get back to the digital marketing component. But did you find that this was helpful to you as far as understanding how to use DocuSign? And I see a thumbs up, so that's good. Great. All right. Well, if you have any questions about using DocuSign in the future, definitely give me a shout. But I think that, you know, if you have a familiarity of how to use zip forms, how to use .loop, you'll probably reach a point where you will figure out how to edit the master templates with the signature blocks and the initial blocks so that you can use them for your future use. I think after talking to the Market Center specialist, the first time that you use a document, you do have to pull in the initial fields and the signature fields manually. But then once you can save that as a template for your personal use, and then you don't have to do that again. And there is also the integration with zip forms too. So now let's move on to the digital marketing component of the presentation, which is really, I'd say that, you know, there's a couple ways to look at this. You could say that this is much more the theoretical aspects of pulling together your marketing plan. So it's, you know, as we move from application through DocuSign or through Command and up into digital marketing theory, we can get into this. But this is also good just to start as a beginning understanding for the context in which you are conducting marketing and sales activities. So we'll go over the 4 Ps. We'll talk about segmentation, targeting, and positioning. We'll talk about the customer funnel and the customer journey. We'll look at paid media channels and owned media channels, as well as content marketing strategy. And we'll look at how this applies to your KW Command marketing mix. So the 4 Ps are essentially, these are the 4 factors that best influence your marketing strategy and competitive advantage. These are the 4 basic arenas for which you can deliver a better product or a better quality than your competition. When you look at price, product, place, and promotion, you start to get a more clear picture of how you can compete. So if we look at the 4 Ps for citywide, we can really get a sense of where we are unique. Our product is real estate services. We cover every type of transaction. We work in residential and commercial. We also work with everybody from a first-time home buyer to investors. But ultimately, our product is the real estate service. It's the transaction management and the property marketing and the negotiation that goes into listing and selling properties. As far as price goes, we are set by the brokerage, but what we offer is better service relative to how much of our commission is paid out by the listing place. Obviously, we're in Philadelphia, but what about Philadelphia? What can we offer that makes us so different? Obviously, with COVID-19, we have had a bit of a shakeup because, you know, we were once sort of a Northern Liberties focused office, but now we have a Northern Liberties office, but we also have all of our satellite home offices as well. But what we sell is in the city of Philadelphia. And then there's promotion, and that's how effectively you promote versus other companies and other competitors. So I'm actually going to pull up a document I created about the 4 Ps as applies to Philly's key team, which touches on this a little bit. And I hope that it helps you shape your thinking about your 4 Ps as well. What I looked at was essentially the product or service is the real estate service and services involved in real estate. Price is already set as fixed for commission and as a percentage of the purchaser's price of the listing. Commission can be negotiated by the broker, but not by the salesperson. And our business model is very much getting paid on this commission basis. So we work for that commission as hard as we need to. And then again, place, you know, we talk about locations. In addition, because you are with Citywide Keller Williams, you don't just have the benefit of the Northern Liberties office, you could also work out of Fishtown, Society Hill, or Rittenhouse Square. And what's even more important is with our joining with KW Mainline, You also have access to offices as remote as Manayunk. And I want to say that there's a few more in the main line, but I'm not exactly sure which ones there are. But you can work out of any of them because of the seamless integration between KW Philadelphia and its partners. Because of COVID-19, we've actually become much more portable as realtors. Obviously, with the use of the DocuSign technology, we have that benefit as well. And as far as, we don't promote on price necessarily. We don't have to, promote that our brokerage is cheaper, but we do promote on quality and customer service. So we make sure that our consumer outreach encompasses all channels that are available to us: phone, email, video, and social media. But this is also, the promotion is sort of the bigger picture of how products, place, and price all influence your promotion decisions. So thinking about that as you promote your listings, promote yourself as a buyer's agent, and promote citywide, gives you sort of a bigger picture view of what is the marketplace that you are competing in as a realtor. Next up, we'll take a quick look at segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Once you've answered the 4 Ps, you can really start to get into asking some of these questions about segmentation. Who are my customers? What do they do? And it helps to, if you can't look, since you have to be compliant with fair housing, you cannot target, and this is actually something that is very useful about doing your Facebook ads through KW Command. KW Command ensures that your listings are compliant with fair housing. They have a much better ability to negotiate. I don't know if you've run into any of these, to a fair housing objection on your advertising on Facebook and Instagram. But the nice thing about KW Command is that it takes care of this fair housing thing for you. However, since you can't look at demographics, you can look more at segmenting your customers in terms of geographic, psychographic, and taste preferences, other parameters for how you think. So if you are thinking about your customers in a psychographic way, you're thinking about customers that are ready to buy or getting ready to buy. You're thinking about geographically, you're thinking about customers. If you have a farm area out in, let's say, Delaware County, if your farm area is right near the airport, segmenting the customers that are close, or the clients that are more likely, the consumers that are more likely to become clients, segmenting by geographics, and then psychographics again. Which of your customers are asking themselves, am I ready to buy a house? How do I get representation? And then once you segment your customers into different areas, you can really start to do some targeting and decide which of these segments you should focus your marketing efforts on. So this is, if you wanted to help out first-time home buyers, for example, that is you can prepare materials that talk to that segment of buyers, people that are making their first home purchase. If you're looking at, segmenting in terms of geographics, you can target right down to a neighborhood. The United States Postal Service has a really good direct mail marketing campaign. It's called EMDD, I think. But it allows you to do direct mail marketing right to a specific neighborhood in a given zip code. So really thinking about but you can also get more creative with your marketing materials and what you want to do. And then finally, positioning is sort of the result of your efforts in conducting segmentation and targeting. Positioning is when you identify the message that best communicates how your product or service is better than the competition's. So there's a lot of realtors that work with first-time home buyers. But what makes you unique as far as what you can offer a first-time home buyer? Providing information about that, items of value. These are all things that you want to think about from a marketing perspective to enhance the success of your sales efforts. Because that's really what marketing is. Marketing thinking is much more about taking the information, using information in a way that drives your sales decision in a cost-effective and reasonable manner. So again, segmentation is identifying relevant characteristics that are fair housing compliant, to understand who are your customers and where they are. Targeting is the act of deciding which of these segments you want to focus on. Positioning is when you write that message that gets to those segments and speaks to them through targeted advertising and targeted marketing literature. And then we'll integrate that right up with what we call the customer funnel or the customer journey. And this is where your customers are in their purchase journey. When we talk about our met and unmet database, we are often thinking of people that are at the awareness stage of the customer funnel. When we talk about people at the consideration stage, these are clients that might be repeat clients. These are people that you know are qualified leads that can help you out. And then people at the purchase stage are usually on the precipice of making that final decision. But all of this, from awareness to purchase to the sale, you want to have an understanding of what's going on with your customer, what's happening inside of the customer's mind, and what kind of decisions they need to make, what kind of questions they need answered, where their emotional state is, what sort of, what are they thinking geographically, what's on their mind. So again, awareness, consideration, and purchase. Basically the customer journey is from this awareness stage to thinking maybe I should buy a house, down to I'm ready to buy a house, to I'm ready to buy this house. And then when you make the sale, there's the idea of this loyalty loop where your customers return to the awareness stage, and then you can again rope them in by leading to the sales funnel to make another sale. So a lot of this is also determining what your goals are. If you want to intensify how strong your relationships are with people, if you lose a lot of people once they interview you but before they sign a buyer agency agreement, you might want to strengthen at the consideration phase of your customer funnel. If you are just trying to get your name out there, you can use a combination of marketing tools to increase awareness in the customer funnel. But again, that awareness stage is very similar to having an understanding of your greater picture. I'm sure you've read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, understanding that bigger picture of your met database and your unmet database. Those unmets are people that are at the awareness stage of the customer funnel. They're just at the point where you want to hook them in to be aware of you and your brand. So for the awareness stage of the customer funnel, you want to understand what your customers' deepest questions are. I keep calling them customers, but I mean that interchangeably with consumers and clients. I think that, it's kind of, but, thinking a lot of the literature sort of put things in terms of product marketing. So, it's definitely, we think about customers more than clients, but one of the nice things about working in professional services is that we are a client-based industry. We're very people-focused. So a lot of how we can compete isn't just about making someone excited about a widget. It's about having them really enjoy their journey of purchasing a home with you and your help and the support that you can provide. So at the awareness stage, you might have some questions from your clients like, how do I buy a home? Where do I want to live? What is a realtor and how can they help me? What kind of mortgage loan do I need? And what kind of house do I want? These are questions that as people start to ask themselves about the home purchase, this is where you can really make the best use of search engine marketing and other tools like that, big social media ads, to talk about, expand your level of contact with your unmet database, people that you haven't met before, and then really sort of help them answer some of these questions for themselves. This is a way of, again, you might generate more referral business ultimately if people are looking for a home, but not necessarily right away. But again, this sort of awareness stage is where you can start to build something like 75% of people sign with the first realtor that they talk to. So getting people at the awareness stage really helps you get to that first place in line in a lot of people's people's service spheres. So next we have the consideration phase of the customer funnel. And you might have some questions here. It's like they're on the move now. They're thinking very seriously about becoming homeowners or exchanging a property or just, moving to a new place. And at this stage, your customers might be asking themselves, do they qualify for the financing that they need? What programs do they qualify for? And how can they save money? Identifying what their real estate goals are. If they want to be a homeowner now, but they want to own investment property in 10 years, the consideration phase is a good time to ask, because then you can provide more targeted and tailored solutions. Again, thinking in terms of STP, that's segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Identifying why people want to work with a real estate agent. A lot of people don't necessarily see the value at first unless you find some way to prove that you have value. So if you're losing a lot of customers at that consideration phase, you can ask yourself, here, what can I do that increases the value that I provide to the customer before they make a purchase decision, before they sign that BAC, but when they're about to. Proving your value is a very critical way of leveraging marketing tools so that you can make the sale. And then also, it helps. Now, this might be a question. Another question your customers might ask are, what are their expectations of a realtor? Managing expectations is a big part of any sales job, whether it's retail or real estate, and being able to answer those expectations and allow your customer to feel like they got more value from you than that they paid. And I think that really, intensifying how well you think about these questions, how you answer these questions can really help enhance your real estate business. And finally, once your customers are at the purchase stage of the transaction, this is when hopefully you've already hooked them. You have the BAC signed, you have the seller property disclosure in place, you have a listing contract, and you start to answer some real specific questions. This is where, once you have proven your value and giving your client the idea that they're going to get more from you than they paid, this is your opportunity to shine. Whether that's by using the KW mobile app that's branded to you to target exactly where your clients are looking on the MLS and for sale, or it can be featuring them in your weekly newsletter, talking about their home search, allowing them to feel a little bit like a celebrity. Providing that value at the purchase stage is when you can really take that opportunity to improve the value and the level of service that you provide to your customers. So you again answer back to those 4 P's, like what are you doing in terms of promotion that distinguishes you in terms of price, place, and I'm missing the 3rd P, I'm sorry, and product. So some of the questions your customers might have once they're starting to get to the table are, what house can I purchase? When can I sell? How do I complete a real estate transaction? A lot of people that try to do this on their own, for sale by owners, buyers that are just looking on Zillow, have a difficult time because they don't know the necessary paperwork, and there's a lot of law involved. Ensuring compliance with that law is something that the average person will eventually want a professional to handle. What are the results of the home inspection? You might have a negotiation phase that's going on in your customers' minds, like this property would be perfect if it weren't for the termite problem, or if it weren't for this. And finding ways to quantify those questions and quantify the value of what you do can enhance your marketing efforts quite a bit as well. Thinking about offers that are made and received. That's where at that purchase stage, your customers' satisfaction kind of hinges on ensuring that the closing is a satisfactory occasion. You want, like I said earlier, you want to use your marketing skills and your skills as a salesperson to help manage expectations of what your customer is going to get from you. And touching back onto the loyalty loop, the idea of the loyalty loop is that your customers, once they complete a purchase or a transaction, return to that awareness phase of the customer funnel. So they're back in that sort of glop of met and unmet people that are not necessarily thinking about purchase. They're not really considering a purchase, but they are aware of your brand. So this is where, returning to that, continuing to follow up and engage with your past clients can result in referrals and repeat business. Many successful businesses rely on an 80-20 rule that 80% of their business comes from repeat and referral customers. And that's where, that's again, where you want to manage expectations and provide sort of aftercare to your clients about after they purchase a home, rent a home, or sell their home. Continuing to stay in touch with them can be, if they have a sibling that needs to sell, or they have a child who needs to rent, who plans to move out and go to college and rent. These are all questions that you as a real estate professional can answer, and you as a salesperson can be attuned to, so that you leverage your marketing tools, whether it's through an email campaign where you stay in touch with your clients, or as part of your follow-ups where you're making your circle calls and saying, being in touch with people and being attuned to their needs helps you construct that good loyalty loop. It also helps you think about what kind of customers provide you with the most value. You might have a very high maintenance customer that takes up a lot of your time, but they might have a really great network. They might have a sister that needs to sell and an uncle who's a developer, or, there are all kinds of people in this world. Understanding the customer lifetime value, which I'm planning on doing a sort of digital marketing series for Citywide Keller Williams after this. So we'll touch a bit more about how you can quantify the results of your customer lifetime value, or the lifetime value of a customer. But you can think about it now in terms of what customers are writing you testimonials, who's giving you referrals, who interacts with your social media posts. It's understanding these kind of questions and how you build this, how once you understand the customer funnel and the customer journey, you can build that loyalty loop so that people come back to you as a resource. So I think after that, it's a bit of a challenge to, segue efficiently from building this loyalty loop. But I guess the next question is, what are some of the channels that are available to you? And we'll talk about this in terms of KW Command in a bit. But the first that we'll review, there's two types of media channels. There's paid media, where you exchange money to get a distinct result or service, and owned media, where, you might pay initially for a website, but ultimately you develop, curate, and manage content that's on the website. You do all of the upfront work. That's an owned media channel. If you just put an ad together and then pay some money and let the experts handle it, that's a paid media channel. Some of the foundational paid media channels, they are platforms that allow you to interact with your prospective and existing clients. These are a bit more traditional, but these would be search engine marketing. So this would be the use of in KW Command. That's the use of Google AdWords. There's email marketing. That's sort of like the automated emails that are produced by KW Command. That's Top Producer. That's also MailChimp. These are email marketing tools. And then there's display ads. I actually have seen a few display ads from different realtors that I know in the city that, it's basically, it's as simple as getting in touch with an ad agency or pulling together a display ad. But the idea is a display ad goes not just on the search engine, but is integrated with the websites. We'll talk a little more about how to do display ads, and also retargeting is basically a technology that allows you to, it works with you, so that if somebody Googles realtors in Philadelphia and then sees one of your display ads and clicks on it, retargeting allows you to show the same display ad again to the individuals that click on your ads or spend more time looking at your website or interacting with your social media. There's a nice feature too in KW Command where you can target your database for advertising campaigns and email campaigns. So these are some of the foundational channels that are available to you. Newer paid media channels, Now, we're not talking necessarily about your Facebook page. We're talking more about social media and mobile ads. So this is the same principle as a display ad. It's just an ad that you would see on Facebook, or an ad that you would see if you're looking something up on a website on your phone. That's when a mobile ad would come in. There's also video marketing, which is actually more, I'd say that's more of a, that's a paid and an owned. But the idea with video marketing is that you would do an advertisement, like a 30-second video, and then have it advertised on YouTube, on Vimeo, and on different other, different platforms. There's also virtual and augmented reality ads. So somebody that's using a VR AR headset gets an advertisement for Phillies Key team at Citywide Keller Williams before they enter the game space. That would be an example of leveraging VR AR as a paid media channel to provide leads. There's also some technologies that sort of integrate both video marketing and email marketing. BombBomb is one that also allows you to reach consumers by text message. We'll also touch on owned media channels, a new technology provided by KW Philadelphia called Swipe Dog. But basically, with the paid media channels, this is just, again, you would work probably more closely with an ad agency. KW Command mostly has search engine marketing and email marketing available to you. But this covers, if you want to, they say sometimes you got to spend money to make money, but if you don't feel you have the time to keep a blog up, for example, this might, display ads might be a great alternative for you. Then we'll move on to owned media channels. And like I explained, owned media is much more content that you produce and you curate through different sites. Some foundational owned media channels, they're user developed and they're managed platforms that allow you to create content and interact with your clients more directly. This is search engine optimization. This is so when you have the search engine results page, or the SERP, your chosen keywords or chosen description appears in a way so that you have more targeted results based on keywords. Running your own website. Now you can do that very effectively through KW Command. You can also set up a website of your own. And you also should leverage your web presence on other sites, such as the Citywide Philadelphia site, as well as the KW Philadelphia site. Blogs, there's a lot of platforms out there. There's Squarespace has a blogging platform, Blogspot. There's a few others. But blogs are great if you have the time, if you curate a lot of content, and also if you do a lot of stuff on your website. And then other content marketing is just, if you develop one thing that you can do is you can make like a 10 best things for a new homeowner to do list, and then create a download link so that you collect emails whenever people access your content. But there's also newer owned media channels. These leverage newer technologies to achieve the same kind of results. This is your social media pages for businesses and organizations. This is where you can have some direct interface with customers. There's mobile apps. And there's also, which is the KW mobile app is free to you. You get a download link so that you can email that or send that to anybody. And there's also virtual reality and augmented reality apps. We're all familiar with Matterport by now. We all know viral VR tours, putting together the 3D diagrams, the Matterport, and the virtual reality tours. This is an owned media that you can use and disseminate for your purposes. And they found something, there's homes sell some, like I want to say 75% faster if they have a Matterport or they have a virtual reality tour, especially now during COVID. There was one more, I guess I didn't put video marketing, but creating your own YouTube channel or using different video marketing, creating that content is also good. Like here at Phillies Key Team, we've been doing video marketing to partner with small businesses to help the business advertise as well as help us create content for our databases, consumption, and enjoyment. So there's a few ways that you can integrate with owned media channels and really have, and paid media channels to really have a comprehensive marketing plan. I'm also going to plug SwipeDog. SwipeDog is a new technology developed by KW Philadelphia in partnership with Paul Whitaker. Or Sam Whitaker, I think, sorry. This technology allows you, it's like a slide share or almost like a Tinder for professional services, but you can pull together an entire presentation inclusive with video, with pictures, and with other interactive content, and send it to your contacts through text, email, or even just through Facebook Messenger, and it's curated to your needs. So I would also add that as a new owned media channel that's available to you. We'll have a seminar about SwipeDog on July 16th at 2 p.m. So definitely look forward to that next week. And since we covered paid and owned media channel, we'll look a little bit at the content marketing strategy. I'd say that this is the start to finish journey of how you want to think in terms of reaching your customers and clients. So you start with an objective. What is your marketing objective? Are you trying to promote an event? Are you trying to attract listings? Do you want to attract buyers? What's your sell here? And then segmentation, returning to that segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Who are your customer segments? What do they want? Why are they paying you? And then behaviors, understanding how people look for most, I want to say like 90% of millennials and Generation Z, they start their home search online. So that's, are they using keywords? Are they searching on social media? Are they doing a combination of those? Understanding your client's behavior gives you the basis from which you can make better and more informed decisions about how you can market your listings, market your leads to close those sales. And that type of content, what sort of content are your prospective customers interacting with? Resourcing, how do you ensure that you can deliver the complete package to your clients? Are you available to take on another listing? Then differentiation these are more questions. And resourcing also, do you need something more? Do you need a better website than just what KW Command has to offer? Is it feasible for you to hire somebody to be your inside sales agent and make cold calls? What do your customers need? Do you need a mortgage person to partner with so that you can provide your clients with the total package? Differentiation is, I'd say it's a lot like resourcing, but it's maybe a little more thinking outside the box in terms of, what can you do that makes you distinct from every other agent at KW Philadelphia? What makes you a good sell as a citywide agent? And then going from there. So really thinking about your content marketing strategy in terms of objectives, segments, behaviors, types of content, resourcing, and differentiation makes you more efficient at the planning stages of the sales process so that you can optimize the tools that are available to you through the Market Center and through Citywide and through KW Command for your most profitable use. So for the KW Command marketing mix, I personally think that this is a great technology. You have the ability to leverage traditional and digital marketing media. Traditional media through getting those print designs and designs, and also direct mailers. You can also make templates for door hangers and postcards and other materials that you can have as physical, letterhead, listing presentations. The more that you have an integrated strategy of traditional and digital media, the more that you'll be able to reach customers that have different levels of use of different media, whether you're working with more old school clients that love the tradition, that want direct marketing, they want listing presentations that aren't digitized, they want handwritten cards. And then people that want more of a digital experience, they want the virtual reality tour, they want to see you retargeting them after the first time they browse your site. But the other features of the KW marketing mix that just we'll review, there's the email marketing that's available through MailChimp. and also through the command mail. There's the website marketing that's available for the agent site pages, as well as the listing landing pages and market snapshot landing pages. There's search engine marketing through Google AdWords. There's some capacity with search engine optimization. You just have to go through, this ties in back to the website marketing. Because we are a subdomain of kw.com, we don't have as much search engine optimization flexibility, but it is important to have search engine optimization descriptions for each of your website pages on KW Command. There's the social media marketing, which is you can have paid ads through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can have you can schedule ahead, like in a Hootsuite. And then there's application and user app marketing. This is the use of mobile apps, and that's branded to you. That's specifically so that you can interact with your database and see what listings they're looking at because they're using the portal in your site. Direct mail marketing we covered. Then KW referrals is the KW Command internal social network so that you can network with other Keller Williams agents throughout the country or throughout the world even. And there's ways you can, again, if you rely a lot on out-of-town referrals, or you want to build your out-of-town referral business, or you want to specialize in something where geographically, like if you want to specialize in vacation homes, that can be something where you build that referral network through your Keller Williams Philadelphia referrals tab. And then there's earned media, like there's the insights where you contribute. It's where you contribute your understanding about a neighborhood that helps you attract referrals. And then the testimonials carousel that allows you to provide a portal through which your clients can submit to Keller Williams. In addition to, I recommend that you also have your clients go on your Facebook page and your Google My Business page and contribute. Yelp as well is a good technology. The more testimonials that you get, the more that you bolster your business as being referral based and attractive to repeat business. So again, the tools available through KW Command allow you to have this distributed marketing mix. And everything else, you know, you can learn, or you can talk to me. You can talk to Jeff Harkins at the Market Center, as well as Caitlin here at Citywide. And we can help you develop a strategy. So in closing, thank you for attending this last 5 weeks. I really enjoyed giving Citywide this complete view of Command. I hope to continue doing these in the future. And make them, you know, a little more targeted, a little more useful each time. So if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know. Don't hesitate to contact support at scottlowrymarketing.com. If you have any trouble with DocuSign or any trouble with any of the command marketing features, they're very responsive. I usually hear back within 24 hours or less. So it's usually 12 hours or less. And then Caitlin at Citywide and marketing at KW Philadelphia for local marketing support. You can reach me at KarynOnTheKeyTeam@gmail.com or Caryn Eaton at kw.com. And Philly's Key Team, I should have put our website, but you can also check it out at phillyskeyteam.kw.com. Thank you so much. I guess if you have any questions, just shout, but if not, I'm happy to be concluding these.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caryn. I might have questions later. I don't have any right now.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I will be here. So, you know, just keep me posted.
Okay.
And yeah, well, definitely. Like I said, I really enjoyed presenting to you. I feel like this is, you know, with Citywide having a more bolstered command team, I think that, you know, we can really make the best out of the marketing efforts that everybody's making and just close some sales. 100 million.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah. Great. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We appreciate
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks again.